this subject, amidst others, but this in particular about speaking about your voice is something that I still have a little trepidation towards because I grew up having my voice. Hey, 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 hey. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to the Bojoul channel. I'm pumped today. I'm pumped and I'm ready and I'm prepared and I'm ready to be here. Welcome to this channel, this Bojoul channel. This is the home of self-care, wellness, and anything that'll help you to become the greatest and highest version of yourself. And I'm so pumped this morning because it seems like the deeper that we get into this whole thing about self-care, it's like so many different aspects are able to be uncovered and tapped into. And I can honestly say that even since we started this channel, I am so much more aware of my self-care journey than I was before. And I'm literally like actively doing little things to kind of make sure that my self-care is being prioritized as I share with you guys. And I say that because, and I will continue to reiterate that on this channel, is that it's such a journey. It is a journey of it's so deep, it's so multidimensional. The depth is crazy. The layers are crazy. And I say that because I want you guys to understand that no matter where you are on your self-care journey, just make progress. Just put one foot in front of the other, one step at a time, and you're going to eventually get there. And it's not, you know what? Let me take that back. It's no there to get to. You just want to be better than you were yesterday because the journey continues to evolve. And once you've reached one level of that self-care, there are so many other levels that you still can strive towards. And so there's no point or no goal post that we're reaching. It's that we're getting comfortable in the evolution of the journey, if you know what I mean. Just get comfortable. So today, and we spoke about this a little bit before, and this is so important that we go into different aspects of this topic. The topic that I'm referring to is the voice, your voice, your voice. And I spoke about your voice, a little on a few other sessions, a few other episodes that we have had. But I have not spoken particularly about your voice as the reflection of your identity. I have said many times before that this subject, amidst others, but this in particular about speaking about your voice is something that I still have a little trepidation towards because I grew up having my voice muted, and not in a aggressive or a hostile or belittling way, but just it was the context or the nature in which I grew up in, where your voice had to be muted so the other voices could dominate and control the environment. And when you grow up, you don't understand that controlling mechanism. You just kind of follow suit. But as you get older and your eyes begin to open and you begin to see things more clearly, you realize that your voice is important. And here's the thing too, when you haven't used your voice and you have not learned how to allow your voice to serve you, when you begin to use your voice, it's hard to even articulate what that is, or what is your voice, or what do I have to say, or what are my worldviews, or you don't even know what your worldview is. You don't even know what your point of view on anything is, because you've always accepted other people's point of views and worldviews as your own. And this is so important in the journey of self-care, because your voice is what's going to dictate the direction that you go. And I don't necessarily mean your audible voice. I mean the voice that's in your head, the voice that secret, quiet voice that nobody else is here, that no one else hears, but it directs you, and it leads you to the left or to the right, or go this way or go that way. And I wanted to discuss today I just want to just start at a preliminary level in the fact that your voice is a reflection of your identity. That's why it's so deep, because understanding who you are is synonymous with a voice that you will use to carry you through this world. And when I say voice, it is your worldview, it is your convictions, it is your point of view, it is the lens in which you view and navigate in this world. And when you have not had the opportunity in your life to do that, it can be a very scary and slippery slope when you begin. And sometimes you're not going to begin till in your 40s, 50s, or 60s, seriously, depending on how your life is, or how you have positioned yourself in life to serve others and to have your voice to be muted or not. You know what I mean? And sometimes you don't even realize that that's what's happening until you step away and you realize that I really have not had my voice acknowledged in any kind of way. And so that's what I want to talk about today in terms of your voice, and just trying to make sure that what it is that you have to say is being understood and it's being heard. One, I want you to understand how your voice can serve you or not. When you go into any context, when you go into any situation, any environment, your voice is the leading introduction of who you are, other than your appearance. Of course, your appearance is going to be the first thing that people perceive before you even open your mouth. And I'll talk about that later, but even your appearance is a part of your voice in terms of what you're going to say. Because the voice that we're talking about is not necessarily the audible voice, but it is who you represent, what you represent when you carry yourself out in this world, and when you're in the context, or when you're in the presence of others. In terms of self-care, what you even believe to be true self-care, and the things that you believe that are necessary for you to live the best life possible, is gonna dictate what you do or what you don't do. Your voice is what will establish you in this world and in the minds of others. Let's say, for instance, let's just take a powerhouse that we all are familiar with and we understand the voice of her. And I'm talking about, let's say Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey have established her voice in this world as a power of influence, of women's empowerment, of everything that would be uplifting to a body of humans, of mankind. I wanted to say women, but not necessarily women, because she upbuilt everybody. And I can say particularly women navigate towards her, but I believe her voice have been so firmly established in this world that when you even say her name, you know that she's coming from a positive, empowering freeing, a sense of freedom and liberation. Like her voice speaks of liberty and reaching your goals and your dreams. That's her voice. No matter what context she go in, she's established her voice. That's her voice even when she's not speaking. That is her voice when you just see her name written on a piece of paper or on a billboard. That is her voice when you just see her picture, a photograph of her. You know what she represents. The context of this conversation that we're having, what is your voice? And how are you going to establish your voice in this world and as it pertains to your own self-care? Certain times in life, people will understand who you are because they've been around you. They know what you're about. They know what you won't stand for. They know that your values. I have several friends in this world. I really do. And I'm so grateful. I have several friends in this world that they are some of the most upstanding, loyal people I have ever met. And I feel myself to be privileged to even be in their company or to be considered a close confidant and friend of theirs because of their voice, because of the integrity of their voice. And I wanted to just talk about establishing your voice in this world and establishing your voice in terms of self-care, because a lot of times you think your voice is clear and you think that it's authentic to you, but because of our cultural background, because of our upbringing, the way we were raised, because of our personal experience, a lot of that voice really has nothing to do with us. And it's important to clearly define what your voice is because it is your identity. It is a reflection, a strong reflection of your identity. Other than you looking at my face, you paying attention to my body movement, or you may be just trying to get some cues from my facial expressions or anything, you really don't know how I feel. One of the main ways that you're going to understand how a person feels is, one, through their behavior, and two, by what they say. When a person has really strong convictions about certain things, it's going to motivate and influence their behavior. It does. If you are convicted about something, it's going to motivate how you move. For instance, let's take a vegan, for instance, a person that's a vegan. That's just random. And they have studied and they have strong convictions that eating live foods that you have to kill are detrimental to your health. That's what they believe. That's their worldview. They believe that when you eat food that is when you're eating food that has to die before you eat it, that is detrimental to your health. So therefore, they believe that. That's their conviction. So therefore, their behavior, they do not eat foods. They do not do those things that will cause them to have to eat dead animals or anything of an animal for that matter. So their eating habits and their behavior now reflects what their convictions are. It's the same thing with us. But the reason this conversation is so key is because a lot of times we have failed to clearly define what our voice is and our convictions, and so when you have this murky, unclear, ambiguous worldview, that means your behavior is murky, unclear, and ambiguous. And that's a part of self-care, being clear, being deliberate, being intentional. You caring for yourself is right next to, or it is in conjunction with understanding your personal values, what you believe, what you do not believe, what you stand for, what you will not stand for. It's so key. That's why I'm so convinced that this self-care thing is so much deeper than we all think. Once you begin to take care of yourself just physically, that's just the surface. That's just scratching the surface. But when you begin to take care of yourself on the level of defining your voice clearly and being able to articulate that voice with boldness and being unapologetic about it. And it takes time to get to that level. But I just wanted you to understand that that matters in reference to your self-care. Define your voice. That's your identity. That is who you are. How you walk through this world without identity. One of the first things that even the government does for an individual is to assign them a name. The parents assign them a name, and the government assigns you a social security number that will follow you for the rest of your life. Because identity is important. They need to identify who this is. Who is this buying this home? Who is this driving this car? Who is this doing this? Who are you? They attach a number to you. Because it's that important. And if it's that important for the government to track you and to clearly know who you are, why is it not that important for you to? And for the world to understand who you really are. Sometimes the truth of the matter is, sometimes we don't even know who we are. But that's the work. What's my favorite quote? Socrates, the unexamined life is not worth living. If you have not examined your life, where are you? What is my voice? What am I saying? What do I want to say? How do I even get to that level? Examining your life is not always a pleasant experience, but it's something that has to be done. Who wants to go to the dentist? Who wants to go? It's a lot of things that we don't want to do. I remember when I first started working out, I hated going to the gym. Like, I hate it. But I had to get in. I had to do it. I knew it was necessary. It is what it is. I remember times that I didn't feel very well, and I didn't want to eat. Who cares? I needed to eat. You have to eat. It's not even a part of wanting. Establishing your voice is a necessary as you embark on your journey of self-care. It is necessary. You embarking on this journey of self-care, you have to clearly define your voice, as it is a reflection of your identity. And who you are is profoundly important. It is profoundly important. Even though people may have made you feel like who you are is not important. It doesn't matter. Shut your mouth. Listen to what I got to say. Pushing their views on you. Opinions here, opinions there. Tossing you here and there. And you don't even know who you are anymore. Yeah, I get it. But how about that's not what it is. It's time for you to clearly define your voice. Know who you are. Where you want to go. What do you want to do with the self-care journey? What do you need to uncover? What do you need to unpack? Right? What do I need to uncover that maybe I have not even knew was even there? A lot of times it's not even that we're trying to hide things. Sometimes you don't even know it's there. You don't even know that it's there. Your voice is a reflection of your identity. Clearly define it. Intentionally define it. And do so unapologetically. Take that fine-tooth comb. You know, in the world of beauty, when we're detangling someone's hair, right? We use wide-tooth comb because there's a lot going on in there. You take the wide-tooth comb, you put some softening agents up there, and you soften that hair, and then you comb it with a wide-tooth comb. But then guess what? You put it down and you get a finer tooth comb. And then ultimately you eat an even finer tooth comb because you kind of get everything loose and uncoiled that you have to. And we do the same thing with our life. You don't have to start with a fine tooth comb, but you start with a wide tooth comb. Just start combing through it. So you can just see the forest from the trees. You can see. I just want to thank you so much for joining us today as we begin to just tiptoe into this ideal of your voice and the identity that your voice is for you. We have a whole series of this voice because I feel like it's something that's going to lay a perfect foundation for our self-care journey. If we have said anything here today that has touched you or that has empowered you, please share this with somebody else that you love or you think that might just appreciate hearing it. We appreciate you for joining us. If you like, subscribe, share, comment, make sure you hit that notification bell. Make sure you could get and stay abreast with every video that we release. We thank you so much for joining us again today. And just remember that self-care is the best care. Peace. Thank you. Later.